Hey, welcome to Granny Story Time. We're going to continue reading this book. This chapter book, I Survived the San Francisco Earthquake of 1906. We're trying to help Leo get his gold back that was stolen from him. Chapter 5. Leo sat down on the flea-bitten horse blanket that he used as a bed. He rubbed his sore jaw. His stomach grumbled. The best thing, he realized, would be to close his eyes and get to sleep and forget about this day. He closed his eyes, but he kept thinking about what Morris had said. Morris was his friend. We could trick them. The words had wormed their way into his mind. Finally, Leo sat down and lit a candle. Maybe Morris was on to something. Of course, Leo couldn't make those two goons hand over the gold, but maybe he could trick them, like the way Grandpop had tricked the grizzly bear. Leo could hear Papa's face now in his mind telling the story. In 1849, Grandpop was only 16 years old. Gold had been discovered in a stream bed in Northern California, and Grandpop was headed west to make his fortune. It had been a tough journey. He had been held up by bandits near St. Louis. He came close to getting bit by a rattlesnake in the Indian Territory. Finally, he made it into the high country in the Rocky Mountains. It was rough, but beautiful too, with streams as blue as the sky and fields of wildflowers that stretched out like rainbows. The sun was setting, and Grandpop had made his camp and built his fire. He got up to fetch some wood for the night. He was coming back over a hill when he saw an enormous bear, 3 times the size of a man, Papa would say, stretching his arms to the ceiling. The bear rose up and roared at Grandpop, baring enormous teeth. Grandpop knew about the Rocky Mountain grizzlies. They ran faster than mountain lions. They could climb trees and rip a person to shreds with one swipe of their paw. Grandpop could see the bear's claws, 10 black daggers glistening in the setting sun. The bear stood there ready to attack. All Grandpop wanted to do was run, but no one can outrun a grizzly. They're too fast. All travelers are told this, and yet most men can't help themselves. The urge to run is too strong. But Grandpop wasn't like other men. There's a picture of Grandpop and the grizzly bear. It does look scary. Every muscle in his body was ready to run, but he planted his feet into the ground. Think, he told himself. He couldn't escape from the grizzly bear. He couldn't kill the grizzly bear. His gun was in his tent. His only hope was to scare it away, but how? And then Grandpop remembered the rattle from that monster rattlesnake he killed in the Pawnee Indian land. The snake was as thick as Grandpop's leg. Its rattle was 5 inches long. The snake could have killed him. He'd almost stepped on it when he was walking through the tall plain grass hunting for rabbits, and by the time Grandpop heard the rattling noise, the snake was coiled and ready to strike. Shh! Without a thought, Grandpop had grabbed his knife from his belt and threw it, and by some stroke of luck, the blade landed in the center of the snake's head. The snake didn't die right away. It thrashed wildly, coiling its body around Grandpop's legs. Grandpop had hit it with the handle of his rifle. And then, when the snake was dead, Grandpop cut off the rattle for luck. Far from those tall grasses in the prairie, the grizzly bear snarled at Grandpop, inching closer. Grandpop put his hand in his pocket and started shaking the snake's rattle, and the sound rose up around them. Grandpop hoped that grizzlies were afraid of rattlesnakes. He hoped he could trick it into thinking it was some kind of huge rattlesnake man, a fearsome monster. The bear looked around, and Grandpop could see the fear in his eyes. It let off one last roar and scampered off. Now, sitting on his flea-bitten blanket, Leo realized that Morris was right. There might be a way to scare Fletch and Wilkie, to trick them into giving back the gold just like Grandpop had tricked that bear into running away. And sure enough, sometime in the middle of the night, Leo had come up with a plan. And that will be chapter 6.